Well, it has come to my attention that Arc System Works just saved Marvel Tokon because that last beta was so ass. I'm gonna keep it 100. If Marvel Tokon stayed like that in the last version, it probably would have been the worst fighting game of the year for me. Just because you have one of the world's famous IP in it doesn't mean it's gonna be a good product. A lot can go wrong. And if you know anything about anime games or fighting games, a lot of the quality control is kinda whack. If you've been living under a rock, Marvel Tokon has made some crazy changes to the game that I don't think they ever would do for their fighting games with Arc System Works. I low-key feel like it was a push on the publisher with both Marvel and Sony on their necks here in the conversation around a product coming out be pre-release. Marvel Tokon to me felt so restrictive that I was like, damn, I might as well just play the arena fighters. And I love both types of games. They don't piss me off. In some areas they do, some areas they don't. But it was that boring to me after a certain point, and some of my favorite characters are already in the game. I have Miss Marvel. Storm is gorgeous as hell in Marvel fucking Tokon. And then they added my new love. I've been reading her old comics, by the way, Magic. I was like literally in copium, closing my eyes like, Arcsys, I kinda need this. Your game's kinda boneless. The most important thing about Marvel Tokon that excites me as a consumer is that I know for a fighting game fan, they are games as a service akin to almost live service. And I've been following Arcsys games since 2016 with BlazBlue Central Fiction. I know how they patch and update their games. It's rare that Tokon's even doing what they doing right now. We wouldn't have got that till like 3 to 4 years later and the game's like big overhaul update. Shit, look at Guilty Gear Strive. They're just on 2.0 after 3 to 4 years later. So yeah, usually when I play an Arcsys beta or demo, that's what we gonna get. But Marvel Tokon changed the world when Sony attacked. Or Arcsys probably could have locked in and did the shit himself. It was Pachi that came out and said something as well. So let's go over some of these changes and see if they better or worse for the game and why I like them compared to what we had previously. Alright, the first big change, assign dedicated buttons for tag and assist. This is big and important, really important. This reminds me of Nin Impact issue and a lot of other modern fighting games issues. A lot of games that don't do motion inputs, they kind of cram a lot of buttons in a lot of areas. Depending on how long you've been playing fighting games, that does the opposite effect of what you think it should do. Nin Impact did the thing where, as for an aiding game, they could have had motion inputs in that game. It was a chaotic mess, even though I enjoy shit like that. I get it, the average and modern day gamer don't. I know example, a Nin stance button, then having a forward down button to do something, then grabs being on the same thing as forward Nin or walk. I know even with 2SKO, a lot of people feel this way. Yeah, it doesn't have motion inputs, but you got to do a lot of different buttons to play the game. Once you get over it, you're over it. So I don't complain about controls in video games because the more you play it, you get used to it and that shit out the window. You learned how to play with what they gave you. That's already a good change because now at least I have a button for tagging, which most games generally do have that. Reduce frames and animation time for tagging. See how faster tagging was? It felt very slow and it didn't make mix feel good to do. And a lot of y'all probably thinking, yeah, you played 2XKO with hand fake tag. How can you let that slide but not in Tokon? First of all, Tokon did it to where inherently it didn't feel good to do anything in the game for me personally. And the slowdown was super noticeable. Like once somebody tag, you see this little white, this yellow, golden little fire line that tags the other person. And I'm like, that's not exciting to me. At least the 2SKO, it's kind of like watching Yuji and fucking Toto fight each other, slapping their hands and going back and forth into it. And it sounds really satisfying. Now this next one is peak, because it's showing that the game has opened up the expression in a way and it's just not homogenized, boring bullshit. You can cancel attack to trigger non-rush assist. So now you don't have to do the rush lariat attack to combo people, which is really good because it adds to a different layer of gameplay. Now the next one is super important for this type of fighting game because it is a tag game regardless or not. Not a traditional versus one, but it still has tag features and functions and mechanics in Marvel Tokon. So this is important. They needed to fix this. Call ground assist while airborne. Oh my god, it made neutral feel so boring and you couldn't even go for like halo with your assist. People was just blocking one way, getting out of shit. It was boring. And this next change is the one thing that stopped me from being a Strive player. I hate this whole concept entirely in that damn game. I fucking can't stand it. It's like so not fighting games to me. And that thing is the wall break. The cool thing about fighting games is putting your opponent in the wall where they have to figure out how to get out of the damn corner. For the casual that don't know fighting is, like, damn, I can't do nothing because my back's against the wall, like it's fucking Bakugan opening. But for me, it's just one of the very important key elements of fighting, and seeing how people fight out of that way and the getting out of it, period, feels fucking good to me. I respect them trying something new, but it also happened too much in Guilty Gear Strive that I generally just couldn't like it. Have you ever watched a Happy Chaos combo and you see him do Ex Machina like 1,000 times? I hate that shit. So even the active wall break, just seeing it and how you can't even combo somebody in the super and you gotta force the new, I don't even want to get into it. I just don't like the implementation of it, period. It ain't even about what it does for the game. Whatever, like breaking through the wall and Strive, getting a positive bonus for your meter and stuff like that. That's cool, I guess, but I hate that I gotta do that to get that. Yeah, does that make sense? Am I making sense? Am I going crazy? But in Marvel Tokon, they locked in. More locked in with it. Super skills no longer cause wall break. Thank you, Jesus. Now the next change is a 50-50 depending on who you ask. A lot of people think this is very toxic, very bad for the future of Marvel Tokon. I've seen a lot of replies on the tweet that Tokon made about this one specific change, and a lot of them sound like scrub quotes, and a lot think it's not fair. If this change was in Guilty Gear Strive, I would probably love that game, because at least you gotta hold that. So essentially what you're seeing here is that you get a full knockdown state, so they can't act out of it. It doesn't reset neutral easily from this wall break. You bounce off the wall, it's still Storm's turn. She get her advantage, she air dashes and continues with the medium, I believe, on Wolverine, which I like it because, hey, I broke you through the wall and it's still my turn. That shit's hot. Now, the one thing I hate about Dragon Ball Fighters, the auto combo. Now, I don't hate auto combos. I play arena fighters. I play anime games. But I will tell you that in most cases, Dragon Ball Fighters auto combo is worse than most arena fighter auto combos. Like, them bitches had magic arms, Magneto's pulse, pulling you in like magic hands. He just attract to you like a magnet. Y'all remember Bardock's 5L? Y'all remember that in Fighters? The Square Stone memes. Y'all remember that? Well, in Marvel Tokon, that auto combo on whiff, if you just mash them in air, it don't continue. You got to get the hit for something to happen. Really good change. Less mashy. Just proves the game is less mashy. If you hear somebody say it's mashy now, they just fucking lying, okay? Then the next change on this is reduce aerial combo limit. This is important before we get into the clip. In Marvel Tokon, it felt like combos had so much restrictions to it, it just wasn't a good time altogether. Felt like I was just doing ABC Lariat, tag, ABC Lariat, and then super at the end. It just felt very dry to me personally. People have posted more advanced combos and clips and stuff all together about Marvel Tokon, but like the combo structure just bored the shit out of me when people said they found harder tech. It was like lather, rinse, do something else, lather, rinse, do something else, lather, rinse, do something else, lather, rinse, ultimate. That's what the combo structure looked like to me in Tokon. It didn't look fun. Seeing more advanced stuff look more homogenized and very stale to me wasn't good for me in the last beta. But now we got combos. Shit, to me, the combo system last beta of Tokon felt worse than BB Tag, and I'll stand on that. But now we got the combo limit with Storm going all the way. Usually after like a couple hits like that right here, they just fall out or break. Like the 12 or 13 hit, they would just break and flip out and touch the ground. I was like, that's kind of boring, bro. But then you see how she dragged them down, let them fall to the ground, let Doom do his thing, converted into it, and the combo's still going. Combo limit is way higher. Into the super, something more basic. At least that feels more satisfying to do a combo in without having to use your whole team. You know, at least that's cool. I gotta give him credit to it. That's gonna make me play the game way more than the last version of Tokon ever was. And that being said, I think Marvel Tokon is worth the money at this point. From the last beta, outside of the gameplay, everything worked good, from the lobbies to the connections. We just need a cross-play beta, and then we should be good to go if everything works properly. And a lot of y'all gonna be asking this or 2x KO, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm gonna say it right now. it's forever 2xKO, because I don't like that Tokon doesn't have multiple health bars for the characters. It's just one shared health bar, and I think 2xKO is just more fun for me personally. But I haven't played this build yet. But if you want to ask in case right now, I still think 2xKO is built more for the fighting gamer than Tokon is in a lot of areas where they're just trying to get Marvel people to play this. And yeah, I don't know. That's just early assumptions. I could be 100% wrong. If y'all enjoyed the video, make sure y'all hit the like button, subscribe. Tell me y'all thoughts on the Marvel Tokon changes. I gotta apologize to Arcsys Works, Sony, and everybody else in between. I really do appreciate that Marvel Tokon really just cooked. And it's now an exciting game to play in 2026 based on these changes. With fighting games, there's always new things that come and arise. The more you play the game, the more you get out the honeymoon and stuff like that. But we'll get there when we get there. As long as we realize as a community, a player base, and fans of Marvel and fighting games, that everything can get better in this modern age, because we do have patches and ability to fix shit. This ain't the PS2 where they have to sell you another version of the game 3 years later for the same price you paid 3 years ago. We're in a different time period. Avataryaya, you guys are golden, and that is raw. I'm out. Peace.